Let's select our user table view cell, right click and create group from selection. And I'm going to call this custom cells. So we can have our code cleaner here. Okay, the next thing, we're going to create a class that will control our users. So select the settings, Command N, Coco Touch class, subclass of UI table view controller, and I'm going to call this users table view controller. Next, create. Okay, so we have this view controller here. Let's go to our main storyboard and we are going to set our table view, newly created table view here, to our user table view controller. Okay, and now we can open our assistant editor, and of course the automatic doesn't work. Hopefully by the time you watch this, Apple will get this fixed. Okay, so I'm going to chats and I'm selecting this manually. So what we need to connect here, we have the top view, this one here. So I will call this header view. Doesn't want to connect. Let's try the segmented controller. The reason it doesn't want to connect is it doesn't understand that this class belongs to this view controller. So let's clean our project. It's Shift Command K. Now our automatic is back. So it should work now. So we say header view, yeah, and then we have our segmented control. I say filter segmented control. All right, so these are the only two views we need to connect to our view controller here. So let's close our assistant editor and we are going to do some stuff here. First of all, I'm going to remove all these commented out things. We are not going to use them. Number of sections. Okay, this one we are going to keep. The cell we are going to keep. The rest I'm going to delete for now, just to make everything clean here. And we are going to add whatever we need separately. Okay. Before we begin, I'm going to do this. You see here we have this cell equals table view to queue reusable cell with identifier, and our identifier is cell, so make sure you fix this. And we are going to downcast this to user table view cell, because this is not a standard table view cell, for example, like this one. This is custom table view cell, and we need to say that this is a user table view cell. All right. Another thing we need is some variables here on top, so we can save our users that we are going to download from Firebase. So I'm going to create some variables. One of them will be called all users, which is going to be an array of f users. And currently it's going to be equal to an empty array. Then we're going to have another variable called filtered users. Again, it's going to be a variable of array of f user objects. Again, we instantiate it with empty array. And I'm going to create a variable all users grouped. And and this is going to be equals to ns dictionary, and we are going to specify that this is as string, which is the key, and the value of our string is going to be an array of f-users. Okay, and finally we need another variable called section titles, title list, and this is going to be an array of strings, which is going to be an empty string as well. So these two we need in order to get all this nicely separated alphabetically table view. So you see all the A users are grouped, and we have this nice alphabetic stuff there. Okay, another thing we want to do is to have a search bar here, so we can search our users. So let's create a search controller for this. I say let search controller is equal to UI search controller, and we are going to instantiate it with a search result controller, and I'm going to pass a nil here for now. Okay, so we have this done. On top, I'm going to import our Firebase, because we need to access our Firebase in order to get our users. And also I'm going to import the progress AUT, so we can show our user what's going on there. And for our search to work, we need to say that our class is a subclass of UI search results controller, search results updating, sorry, search result updating. Okay, so this is it for our this lecture. In our next lecture we are going to write together the functionality. Now it says we have an error because we have some required functions for this class.